Authorities now say that deadly shooting at a small Texas church Sunday stemmed from a domestic incident. And now to a KHQA exclusive. Tri-state levees along the Mississippi River face two fights right now. The first is the threat of future flooding. The second is extensive regulations that keep levee districts from offering more protection for residents and thousands of acres of farmland and even industry. When you think of the best stand-up comedy in the country, Chicago, LA, and New York City probably come to mind. But a new London, Missouri agency is now on a top 30 list of best comedy agents in the country. I met with the two men who started Laughter Has No Color for tonight's Spirit of the Tri-States Report, brought to you by Continental Cement and Green America Recycling.
Wife, she calls me. I sent her a text message, but don't call me no more.
It took St. Louis area resident Vernon Davis, also known as Longhorn the Comedian, years to find his comedic voice.
Well, I realized that I'm not really urban. I'm from Texas. I'm a military bred. I lived all over, so I have friends of all nationalities. And the more you get into comedy, the more I pull from my life experiences. I realize I'm not an urban comic. I'm more of everybody's comic. So therefore I took urban comedy, mainstream comedy, blue-collar comedy, put them all together.
Richard Elson-Peter represents more than 50 performers through Elson-Peter Productions out of New London. He saw Vernon perform at a winery in Barry, Illinois about 10 years ago.
What really struck me was the message behind the comedy.
I'm able to teach people one message, which is the name of our company, Laughter Has No Color, is that I'll stop my show and I'll say, look, let me show y'all something. Have y'all noticed that we've been in here and we have been laughing together? We've been enjoying each other's time. So therefore, if we can laugh together, then that means we can definitely live together, because laughter has no color.
Richard decided he wanted to start a comedy division of his company and asked Vernon to be his business partner. The two men are also military veterans.
And I always have somebody come up to me after the show and go, yeah, that's what I learned from you tonight, that laughter has no color, that we can do anything if we can laugh together.
Laughter Has No Color represents diverse comedians such as Brett Eastburn, who has no arms or legs. His message of overcoming any obstacle has taken him across the world for performances. Squishy Man's grandfather was a knight of the KKK while his dad was a member of the Black Panther Party. He speaks of growing up multiracial during a time when neither race accepted him. And Mother Katrina Brown shares her experiences as a wife, mother, and aging woman.
It doesn't matter what color, it doesn't matter what nationality, it doesn't matter what race, it doesn't matter what gender you are. Funny is funny. We can just sit down together and be a family and laugh together.
I'm a preacher's kid. My mom was an evangelist.
GoodDeedSeats.com ranked Laughter Has No Color in its top 30 list. You can find the other agencies that made that national list right now at KHQA.com. If elected, Hillary Clinton also pledged in her 100 days of presidency to make the best investment in jobs since World War II. In Springfield, Rajah Maples, KHQA News. Hillary Clinton returns to her home state for the first time since March, when she visited with voters right before the Illinois primary. I got here around 8 o'clock and the water has not stopped. The rain has not stopped falling. I've heard that meteorologist Dave Holder said that we're in the bullseye of the rainfall. Get to that story in just a moment, but first, our top story tonight. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill hope to act fast to prevent terrorists from entering the U.S. We now know why apple cider at the Pike County Fall Color Drive made people sick.
Big weekend for Star Wars fans.
And I can't wait to hear what people think about it. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. New tonight, brutal weather continues to hit the U.S. More than 18 million people are now under flood warnings. Also, water levels are expected to rise another 5 feet on the Illinois River at Valley City. Well, in the news tonight, a Lewis County woman is dead following a two-vehicle collision near Lewistown this morning. 22-year-old Judith Greening roomed with 21-year-old Danetta Pickens in a South 12th Street apartment in 1966.
One night in March, they came up missing. The next day, on March 22nd, they both did not show up for work. Very unusual, because they were always at work and always on time.
Lieutenant Dina Dreyer with the Quincy Police Department says a man was walking here on South 24th Street, south of the Sheridan Swim Club, when he spotted Greening's body here in a ditch.
She had 51 stab wounds and she had been shot with a shotgun.
Several hours later, an off-duty police officer noticed Pickens' vehicle here at 18th Street and Grove Avenue. Her body was in the trunk. She had 15 stab wounds and also had been shot.
For the first time in my life, I felt unsafe in my own home.
Verda Hadasek and Lois Olivas are Greening's first cousins. Their Northeast Missouri family was shocked, devastated, and frightened.
It was like, who did this and why, and do they know us? Are they coming after us too?
Authorities interviewed hundreds of people, and the investigation led them to this man, 18-year-old Ronald McCleary, who later changed his name to Ronald Glass. He lived just 2 doors down from the victims. His fingerprint was found inside some blood in Pickens' vehicle. The blood matched that of Greening. McCleary Glass made 2 incriminating statements, once when he was arrested and once to an undercover officer placed in jail with him. Those statements, however, were not usable in court.
It was Miranda versus Arizona. That was argued February 28th through March 1st of 1966, and that basically just gave people the right to have an attorney before they spoke to officers or anyone in the law enforcement field.
The Supreme Court decision forbade McCleary Glass's statements from being used in court since his Miranda rights were not read to him before he made those statements. A jury found him not guilty. The Adams County State's attorney at the time decided not to try McCleary Glass for Pickens' murder because of the same problems with that case.
They felt like they had the right individual in this case. They just were not able to prosecute him.
But the victims' families do not want people to remember their loved ones by how they died.
Judith was a wonderful person. I mean, really, she was. She was the apple of her mom and dad's eyes. Judy grew up in Monroe City, and there's no one in Monroe City that did not know her or did not love her.
A whole community grieved for her, and the whole community pulled together and really supported the family.
Judith Greening's mother, Loretta, passed away in 2013 at the age of 92. Looking back, Verda and Lois are in awe of how Loretta and Judith's father handled their grief. The family offers hope to other families who've lost loved ones to crime and other tragedies.
I know that my aunt and my uncle were of a different generation, and it was a marvelous generation, and they had some kind of inner strength that carried them. They went on and did terrific things with their life after this horrendous thing with Judy. It's hard to imagine that after a tragedy like this, you would go on and serve the community in this way, but they did.